Hi, Gibaud, Gibaud.com, and today I'm going to present you the TTArtisan 40mm 2.8 macro. This one is for micro four third, but it exists also for Fujifilm X, for Canon M, and also for Sony E. So let's start. Good impression starts when you receive the box. Tough, solid. In there it's well protected with a foam in there, okay? Then you have paperwork like guarantee and stamp of serial number of this, and here you have a small microfiber cloth, okay? So that's okay. And then you get to the lens. This is full metal. This is a really original, and look at this. The cap, you actually screw it on like this, okay? So it's original. So maybe some people will say it takes some time to screw a tap on or get it out, and if you're in a rush, but honestly you don't see a small insect and say, rush, come on, run, we're going to make a macro photo. Normally when you do macro photography, you're ready, you prepare it, and it's not a problem to get this out this way. Actually, I think it's really original. I liked it. So I'm going to show you some pictures I've made with this lens. I'm going to tell you my impression. So let's carry on. Disclaimer, this sent me an email from TTArtisan and said, would you like to try this 40mm 2.8 macro? I said, yeah, I actually emailed you a few weeks ago. I never had an answer. I said, oh, we're really sorry about that. Maybe it was left out. I'm sorry about that, but we'd like to try it. I say, yes, I can try it with the micro four third mount or with Fujifilm X. And I said, I'm going to send you the micro four third. So here it is. So we're going to speak about this one and tell you my opinion. So as you can mount this lens on several kind of cameras, if you mount it on APS-C, it will be this 40mm as if it was the equivalent of 60mm in full frame, and if you mount it on micro four third, it's equivalent of 80mm. It means you could actually use this lens with no problem for portrait, although it was not the subject of my review. I centered actually on macro, okay? So you see, if you want all-in-one, you could use it for portrait and macro, no problem. The design is really different from other lenses by TTArtisan. As you can see, I open it here, okay, and the look is different. And one thing I like is this, instead of writing distances, they actually write the magnification. 1:1, or the scale, or the ratio, I don't know how you call it. 1:1 means you have a real size, or 1:5, and here you go to infinity. So here I'm on 1:1. If you see this coin of 5 euro cent, okay, you see it's 1:1. And now if I show you this one go to infinity, you get the boat away, and you can still make some pictures. So I can see you have the scale, so it's really practical. Here you have the aperture ring that has click, half stop, from 2.88 up to f16, okay, it goes fine. I really like it, and although it's fully metal, it weighs 370 grams. I think this is okay, that's not too heavy. If I compare with my Olympus 60mm 2.8, I think this one is a bit heavier, but this is full metal, and honestly the build quality is stunning. The minimum distance is 17 centimeters, but when you actually calculate minimum focusing distance, you always calculate from the sensor. It means when you're on 1:1, when this is fully out, the object or your subject is about 2 centimeters in the front. So this tube, as you can see, when it's completely out, you see the lens, front lens is really in the back, okay? So this will make some kind of shadow or shade on your subject. So I've seen some people actually remove this tube. They force it a bit and they remove it. I didn't try to remove it, but some people do, okay? But 70 centimeters will get you just here when you're on 1:1. If we speak about sharpness, because when we speak about macro, people are always asking, is it a sharp lens? Because I understand that when you want to do macro, you want some details, you really need sharpness. And honestly, I think sharpness is good from 2.8. The corner are not as sharp maybe, but at f8 completely sharp. f4 is really good, f5.6 is really good, and f8 is perfect, okay? So it means that actually normally when you're on 2.8, it's really rare that you have everything in the same plane. So what happens is that anyway in the corners, it's probably out of focus. So even if it's not that sharp, you won't notice it. It's not really a problem. So, and if you're on 1.1 at 2.8, the subject is about this far. So anyway, if you calculate the distance to the side, is different because you're so close that it's normal that it's not as sharp. Okay, but I think it's okay. The results are brilliant. Honestly, I think it's good. If we speak about bokeh, many people confuse shallow depth of field with bokeh. Bokeh is the out of focus part, the way it looks. So it's really creamy. Transition are really nice, and light at maximum aperture around. That's okay. I think it's nice, really good. You have a little bit of flare, not too much. But one thing I think is more annoying is that it's not really flare, is if you have light from the side, you will get like a loss of contrast on the opposite side, okay? And I show you some example, you really see that you lose contrast, and if you lose contrast, it looks like you've lost sharpness. The problem is that you can't actually put a sunshade. You can screw, you have your screw on one, you can put it, but when you not when you're on 1.1, because the subject will be so close that you will not have space to have a shade. Okay, so the best thing is you put your hands where the sun is, the light or sun or whatever is coming from, and you'll make it better. Okay, but otherwise you will notice that there's a loss of contrast on the opposite side, because you get this milky look. Okay, there is not much distortion. I think it's really good, no problem. If we look at chromatic aberration, there is a bit, but really not much. I don't see it's a problem. I know that some people, they see a slight bit of chromatic aberration and I think it's a big drama for them, but honestly I think it's really contained, and I think it's really it's really okay. I think there's no problem. So honestly, if you think that this lens costs about €100, this is a gift. Okay, and the question is more than is this lens good? Yes, it is a really good lens for what it costs. Even if it was more expensive, I think it's a really good lens. But maybe you would like to compare with the Olympus 60mm 2.8 that I have, and I think optically the Olympus is really good, but this one is really good too. So why should I buy one or the other? Well, basically this one is fully manual. So when you work fully manual, sometimes it's hard to be precisely focused. So when you use an autofocus on this Olympus, for example, if you use the 60mm 2.8, you can actually tap the screen, and then it focuses where you want and make the picture at the same time, or almost the same time. So it's harder to miss picture. But on the other hand, it's really usual that when you do macro photography, you work in manual mode with a tripod, so it's not so much of a problem. You actually work in manual anyway. Even if you have the Olympus, very often I work in manual, and so it's not too much of a problem then. But yes, if you want to do handheld photography, macro photography, an autofocus is welcome. And another reason why it's really tempting to have the Olympus 60mm 2.8, if you do product photography, I didn't do product photography this time, well, except this cap, okay, but the cap actually put it parallel to the sensor, so there's no depth of field, too short, too shallow. It's not a problem because it's on the same plane. Okay, but if you want to do a picture that you don't have just the tip of the leg of the fly in focus and the rest of the fly you can't see it, is out of focus, then you want to do focus stacking. It means focus stacking makes several pictures moving forward or backward the point where you're focusing, and it means that after you stack all these pictures together to have everything in focus. So it's really something you do in product photography very often, or insect photography. Sometimes the insect is not moving, you do it. And if I have my Olympus, I can actually do that automatically with the autofocus. I say where it starts and where it stops, and I press, it makes a picture itself. So in body it can get 8 pictures and then stack them together. And if I use a third-party software that like Helicon Focus, I make up to 999 pictures, and then I can stack all them together. And making the picture with the motor is a lot easier. In this case, I have to move slightly myself manually, make a picture, move a bit, make a picture, move a bit, make a picture, move a bit, make a picture, and then stack all of them in a third-party software. Is it a problem? Well, depends. If you make picture that needs focus stacking once in a while, that's not a problem. If you're making a product picture that need focus stacking and you make them all day long, then that's a problem, because it's really time consuming, and you have maybe you do an error, you move like this too much or whatever, and you can ruin your picture. So it's nice to have a motor that does it. Otherwise, if you're not into this focus stacking need, this one is brilliant. For that price, you don't get anything better, honestly. So really, can I recommend this lens? Well, if you're doing to do a macro from time to time, or your budget is limited, because some people just have 100 euros for that. Some people can afford a higher priced one, but they don't need it. So the budget, something depends on you. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't have it, or sometimes you have it, you don't want to spend it. And sometimes you would like to pay more, but you don't have the money anyway. So this lens is really brilliant for what it costs. And the fact that it's fully manual, in many situations, is not really of a problem. So yeah, if you're going to do product photography on a daily basis that need focus stacking, maybe you should consider an autofocus one, like the Olympus. If you don't need to do focus stacking and you do macro, like many people, then this is enough. It's a great price, and it's really usual to work in manual anyway in macro photography, so that's fine. So if you're interested in this lens, I'll leave you a link in description where to buy it. So thank you very much to TTArtisan for sending me the lens. Thank you to you for watching the video. If you feel it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, the small button down here, and also a small bell. If you click on the bell, get notified when I upload a new video. My website, Gibaud.com. If you have any question, can leave a comment below. I'll also leave you links on more gear on Amazon, links to all the products I've tested by K&F Concept and Sandmark, and also a link to my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. Please take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye.